you guys. In this video, I am going to give you 3 sure ways to feel better if you're depressed. Now, the first 2 ways are going to get you out of that depression, but it's temporary. It'll only work between 2 to 4 hours immediately following these activities. You are guaranteed to feel better. And then what you do in those 2 or 3 hours can make a difference. But the third tip that I give you has cured depression. And if you're interested in this video, keep watching. Hey guys, I'm Moonlight Mason and welcome to my channel where we give tips and actual things that you can do. Not too much theory, but things that you can implement and begin doing so that you can start living that badass life that you were meant to live. Now, if you're new to my channel, please subscribe and let's get into my 3 ways. Now, the first 2 ways are temporary, meaning that right after you do these activities, like I mentioned, the mood that you're in, the change that you'll feel will last anywhere between 2 to 4 hours. It depends on you. It also depends on what you're going to be doing during the 2 to 4 hours where you feel good, if you can actually make it last longer. But my last one has made thousands of people in the last 26 years, has cured depression. So let's get into the first 2. The very first one, and I have some notes here that I took, so I might be looking down occasionally just so that I don't miss anything, right? Okay, so the first one is swimming. Now, when I say swimming, I mean getting inside the water from head to toe. And this is in the middle of you feeling depressed, like Trisha, when you're crying, and you're so depressed, you can't get out of your head. Everything is up here, like all of the sufferings and all your thought are locked here, right? And what we want to do to feel better, if you're in so much pain and you have access to a swimming pool, I'm telling you, get in the swimming pool and go swimming for at least 20 minutes. What that does is it has kind of like the same thing as a runner's high, where it releases serotonin in the brain and elevates your mood. But it's guaranteed 100% that if you do this, when you leave the swimming pool, you're going to feel much better. You're not going to feel so much pain, because all of that energy that surrounds you when you're upset and all of those thoughts are somewhat washed away by the frequency of the water. Now, don't take my word for it. Just try it. You have nothing to lose. But you do have to be totally immersed from head to toe in the water, and you have to swim. Now, after you do it one time and you feel better, you know, hopefully you can do it the next day, you can do it the next day. And this is a great thing for you to do, Trisha, at night. Maybe if you have a swimming pool where you live, or you can find a swimming pool. And I also recommend swimming pools that use oxygen to clean the water instead of chlorine. But that's another video. But at any rate, go swimming. Now I'm just going to glance down here and see if I've left anything out as far as swimming. It'll stimulate your good brain cells and create serotonin and elevate your mood. And I already said that, so go swimming, tip number 1. Tip number 2, oh my gosh. This, you guys, not many people know about, but especially if you live in LA, there are many places that have float tanks. Now, if you don't know what a float tank is, it is an absolutely amazing experience. It's a tank, right, full of water that's body temperature, and you go in and it's all dark in there. I'm not sure how this works if you have a little claustrophobia, but it's so dark and quiet, and you lay on your back and you float for like an hour in water. What does that do? You're floating in a tank. Look it up on the internet. Float tanks. Okay? What it does is all the stress that you have, all that negative energy, all of those thoughts that you have, they just release. And you just lay there on your back floating, and it just releases. You're guaranteed to feel better after you get in a float tank. Number 3, and most important, especially for you, TP, you know why? Because you got the money, girl. A lot of us, want to do certain things. I was going to say like me, but a lot of us want to do things and we just can't afford it, or if we have the money to do it, we have rent to pay or other priorities. But when you have extra money, I'm telling you, you need to go see this. He's a psychiatrist, and he's a brain disorder specialist, one of the best in the whole world. Now, you won't see him. You'll see a doctor that's been trained by him. But what's so different with the way he treats brain disorders than other psychiatrists is simply that psychiatrists are the only doctors that don't actually look physically at the brain. And what this man, Dr. Amen, this world-renowned doctor has created is looking at your brain 2 different ways. One, when you're focusing and concentrating, and another when you're in a resting state. And he shows you a normal brain, and then you see your brain. And on a physical level, people who have any kind of psychiatric challenge, right? Or mental disorder, ADD, or even mentally challenged children, adults, 86% of people who have done this have shown lasting improvement. It will change your life. And he has a clinic in Costa Mesa, which is in Los Angeles. He has a clinic in Walnut Creek. There are clinics all over the place. And you know what? It is, for the evaluation, okay, the evaluation is 3 days. You need to go for 3 days, 2 hours each time you go. All right, nothing's gonna hurt, but that evaluation is $3,900. Okay, so before you go and buy that bag, before you go on a vacation, before you think about making that next, putting your money into your car, or that next music video, or whatever it is you're doing, think about your brain health and how much you want to find out what the fuck is going on with your brain, right? Why is this happening, and why has it been happening for so long? And a lot of times he'll show, after you get the 2 scans done, they show you your brain, and they'll go on a physical level. Look at your brain on this image, and it'll show how your brain is deformed. It'll show where parts of your brain isn't getting enough blood flow, and where other parts are getting too much blood flow. And sometimes of course, they'll give you medication if they feel you need medication, like, psychiatric drugs. But their main way of doing the treatment is through supplements, through nutrition, through diet. So after you go in for 3 days, for 2 hours each day, and get evaluated, then they come up with a treatment plan, which some people feel better in 2 weeks. Some people it'll take 6 months. It doesn't matter. If I were you, Trisha, or if I had the money, personally, I would go. okay, I would go. Because if you're older and you want to avoid having Alzheimer's or having dementia, or if you feel like you're losing your memory, you want to go see Dr. Amen. A-M-E-N. A is in Apple, M is in Mary, E is in Edward, and N is in Nancy. Dr. Amen. Just Google it. You'll find all the information there. There's a number where you can call. I called yesterday, and that's why I'm kind of excited to share this, especially with Trisha after seeing what she's been going through in the videos that she shared for us. Those are my 3 tips, and I really want to help you if you're suffering from any depression or any sadness. There are many other things you can do, but even if you just did one of the things that I suggested and you actually do them, you're going to see a big difference in your life. I'm Moonlight Mason, and your #1 goal in life should be to be healthy, mentally, emotionally, and physically. I love you so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.